Look, a couple years ago, I got almost 2,000 streams in just one weekend and I immediately freaked out, but not in the way that a lot of people do. See, most people will get super excited and think that things are finally starting to go good, but I knew that something was wrong. And I was absolutely right, because whenever I looked into it, I saw that a scam playlist had added my music. Now, luckily I acted quick and reported the playlist to not only Spotify, but also my distributor. And if I didn't act fast like that, I could have at least had that song, if not my whole profile, removed off of not only Spotify, but kicked off my distributor in total. Spotify may not be the greatest platform for many different reasons, but if you're banned off of distribution platforms for fake streams, that hurts you on all streaming platforms. So let's go ahead and get into why playlisting is not the answer.
Because my revolutionary faculties got me switching up the game and changing minds. Get them out the system, I'll be saving lives.
So why am I making a video about how I was upset about getting 2,000 streams in one weekend? Well, that's because it's not about getting good stream numbers, it's about how you get them. And if you're not familiar with this channel, welcome. My name is Harkos, and this is the Makin Cents Podcast, where it's all about music marketing, branding, and how to have success. Real success as an independent artist, and real success absolutely means that you're getting real streams. And I've been trying to tell artists for quite a few years, but getting put on big playlists is one of the worst ways to get streams. And that's because they're almost never real. Now, I'm not going to say that 100% of the streams that you'll get on these playlists are going to be fake, but it's statistically proven that a large majority of these streams that you will get on any big playlist, even if it's from a supposedly reputable source, will be bots. And we've all seen the documentaries on bot farms and how people who run them use playlists in order to get crazy streams for not just independent artists, but also for mainstream artists as well. And honestly, I've heard a lot of independent artists say, well, if the majors are using it, why can't I? Well, that's because the majors have the money to pay for lawyers to make sure that they don't have any adverse action happen to them. You don't. See, as an independent artist, you have to make sure that when you start getting high stream counts, regardless of what platform they're on, that you're getting them 100% legitimate. Because if you're paying to get on playlists just to get a lot of fake streams, it's not going to help you in the long run. Yeah, you will look good and it may end up getting you more in streaming revenue than what you paid to get on the playlist in the first place. But if you stop running that playlist campaign, you will see that your streams will collapse to basically nothing. And that's because you're not getting real streams from real listeners. As I said in my previous video, which the link for that is down in the description below, but there's only 3 real ways to grow a fan base. And fake stream playlists are not on that list at all. Now, some of you may be like me and have learned years ago that these playlists are not legitimate, so you don't use them. But you may still fall victim to these scam playlists adding your music without your authorization, which is exactly what happened to me in June of 2024. Now, as I said in the beginning, I had a scam playlist add me for 2 days and give me almost 2,000 streams in that time. Now, this is a very common tactic that a lot of these scam playlists use, where they add you for a couple of days, spike your streams, and do it in order to entice you to purchase a package with them. Don't fall for that. I definitely didn't, but I know a lot of independent artists might, so I just want to tell you, don't fall for that. Report them when you see this happening. Don't go and buy a package, okay? Because I was lucky enough to be able to catch this immediately, just simply because I was keeping an eye on my streams every day, because I was in the middle of running an actual advertising campaign, not a playlist campaign, a real campaign. But most of the time, you're not going to be checking in on your stats every single day because you have a life to live. You got music to create and hopefully a solid marketing plan that you're trying to implement, like the marketing plan that I laid out in my last video. And again, that link to that video is in the description below if you want to check it out, which I recommend you do. But you're busy. You don't have time to watch your stats every single day to watch out for fraud. And honestly, in reality, the distribution platform that you're using should be the one watching out for fraud. But unfortunately, most don't. See, many platforms promote the use of playlists, even though the data is out that most playlists are full of bots. For instance, TuneCore promotes a platform called Playlist Push. DistroKid has their Wheel of Playlists, as well as a complete search engine for playlists. But neither of them are watching your music for fake streams, notifying you immediately about it, or helping you fix the problem before it's a bigger issue. And I've heard about artists who have used DistroKid's Wheel of Playlist and got hit with fake streams. And of course, when they reached out to DistroKid, they never heard anything back, and they were just stuck with the strike and usually the removal of their music. But there's one company that looks out for your music to make sure that if fake stream happens, you can fix it before there's an issue, and that's Landr. And I've talked about Landr many times on this channel, and that's because they are genuinely a great distributor. I've worked with many different distribution platforms such as DistroKid, Sony Orchard, and even Empire Distribution, and I will tell you that Landr is the best that I've worked with. Not only do they have a great rate for their Distribution Pro package at just $44.99 a year, and that package includes all of the add-on services that places like DistroKid want to charge you crazy fees for. But aside from that, they also have a service called Stream Scan that's included at absolutely no cost, no matter what distribution package you have with them. Stream Scan pulls reports straight from the distribution platforms, analyzes it, ranks the risk, and then notifies you before your music gets removed from your account or your account gets flagged. Then they give you the opportunity to take action immediately before any negative damage can happen to your music. And again, it's absolutely free with any of their distribution packages. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. In fact, honestly, I see this as a great benefit to being with them. Because if you get hit with fake streams, have your royalties withheld, your music pulled, and possibly your whole account wiped off of your distribution platform, that's going to cost you a lot of money and a bunch of headache. But Stream Scan with Landr is absolutely free and helps you safeguard your music. And I highly recommend that you check Landr out today because they have all kinds of great services for incredibly low rates. And if you use my link down below in the description, you'll get an additional 20% off any package. So go ahead and go check that out. But aside from making sure that you have a distributor that watches your back like Landr does, you still need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to make sure that your music grows. And again, playlisting is not the way. Now, I've seen a lot of different channels talk about playlisting and how it's a great strategy, but I completely disagree. And here's why. So, getting on one big playlist that has thousands or tens of thousands of listeners sounds great, right? Because you get the opportunity to get in front of all those people. But if most of those people are bots, and you run the risk of getting your music removed by participating on that playlist, then it's not worth it. Plus, when you get on these playlists, most of the times, your streams per listener rate will be approximately 1.5 to 2.5 streams per listener. And that means that on average, people are listening just once and then moving on. So you're not even targeting the right people by being on these playlists in the first place. However, if you can get hundreds or thousands of people to add your music to their individual playlists, such as their gym playlist, work playlist, relaxing and meditation playlist, or whatever playlist they curate themselves, this is going to be the kind of playlist that you want to be added on. Because getting on playlists from individuals will get you much higher streams per listener rate and activate the algorithm. Because if the algorithm sees that your music is being not just streamed a lot, but saved by a lot of people and added to their playlist, then it's going to be able to tell that those people genuinely like your music. And based on the profile that they build on each of their listeners, they'll be able to recommend your music to other listeners who have a similar listening pattern. And this will help you start gaining real fans of your music 100% organically by activating the algorithm. Here's an example. In June of 2024, I ran a marketing campaign on my music for 30 days, just 30 days only. And now, before I started this, I hadn't put out any music or promoted it in almost a year because I was focusing on this channel and building my marketing agency as well. And my music on streaming platforms was barely getting any streams at all the month before I started my campaign. But as soon as I started my campaign, I started getting real listeners. Now, let's look at Spotify because honestly, it's the most popular streaming platform. And aside from the 2 days that I got added to that fake playlist, I was averaging a couple hundred streams per day based off of this advertising campaign. And over the month of June, I got 721 saves and 356 playlist ads on my music, totaling a little over 5,000 streams if you take away the 2,000 fake streams that I got from that fraud playlist. Now, I ended this campaign at the end of June, and for the month of July, I got an additional 2,000 streams from almost 600 listeners and an additional 30 saves and 35 playlist ads. And all of this was from the people I got in front of the month prior with that advertising campaign and from the algorithm pushing my music to a like audience from what I actually got to come through the advertising campaign. Now, I didn't do anything in the way of promoting my music from July, honestly, all the way until the time I'm actually recording this video, which is January of 2026. So from July of 2024 to January 2026, I haven't done anything, okay? But as you can see on the screen, from July all the way until the end of December 2024, I was still getting listeners, streams, saves, and playlist ads because the algorithm was recommending me. Now, my numbers fluctuate and some months were lower than others, but this was all 100% organic from the algorithm still pushing me. Even though I had not put out a single post on social media, no activity whatsoever on YouTube, and I didn't release any new music. And I did this experiment because I wanted to see how well a strategic ad campaign could get me genuine listeners and activate the algorithm. And it did absolutely that. Okay? And even over the whole year of 2025, when I did absolutely nothing on any of my social platforms, YouTube, or streaming platforms, I still got almost 3,000 streams from 350 listeners, plus an additional 11 saves and 111 playlist ads. And again, that was all 100% organic from the algorithm suggesting my music to people. And that was because I got in front of real people who enjoyed my music during that advertising campaign. And those people took action by adding me to their individual playlist. And this is something that you will never get from any playlisting campaign from any individual or company. You will mainly end up getting a bunch of fake streams and nothing but hassle that will come from it. And that's why great companies that value doing good business such as Landr have created Stream Scan to help watch your back for fake streams. But most importantly, that's why here on this channel, I always put out information on real marketing strategies that you can use to grow a real fan base. And as always, if you like this video, make sure that you not only continue checking out all the content that I put out on this channel, but you share this video with other artists that you know as well. Because everybody needs to have this information. And honestly, whether you act on it or not is completely your business. But if you need any help or you just have some questions along the way, feel free to shoot me a message on IG or email. My contact information is down in the description below. It's absolutely free to reach out and have a discussion with me. And if you want me to help you out with anything, I have incredibly low rates on high quality services. All right. But even if you still want to keep doing everything DIY and you don't need help from anybody, I completely understand. And to you, I say this, take this information in this video and actually apply it. And you will start seeing real growth in your music career. And again, if you need any help with your marketing or you just want somebody to bounce some ideas off of, reach out. My details are down in the description below. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.
Because my revolutionary faculties got me switching up the game and changing minds. Get them out the system, I'll be saving lives. Change the mind, the heart will follow next.